What up, beautiful people? I'm here again for another daily video. How you guys doing? My name is Val, and today I'm really tired. I'm really low energy, and making a video, it's just like, do I really need to do this? I could go to bed right now, relax, wake up for work tomorrow, and maybe not feel as tired as I would if I made this video. However, that is what this video is about, guys. It's about alchemy. I'm going to talk to you about alchemy today. I'm going to hopefully impart to you some very useful tips in this process, because some of you out there might be wondering, what is alchemy? Okay, well, alchemy is the act of turning lead into gold. However, and don't click away from this video if you're one of those skeptical people, it is not strictly about doing that in the physical sense. It actually is symbolism for taking the lead emotions that you have, those lead weights, okay, that are dragging you down, preventing you from doing what you want to do, and turning them into gold. These are useful emotions. These are emotions that are useful. At least that's what I thought at first. But I believe there's more subtle nuance to this topic, and that is what we're going to get into today. So even as I'm speaking to you right now, I am in the process of alchemizing this tired feeling. I'm trying to actually lean into it a little bit. I'm trying not to fight the feeling of being tired. And I am therefore still producing gold. You see, it has nothing to do with the emotion. The emotions are non-dual. They are there, okay? They are just there. The emotion is not bad. The emotion is not good. The emotion is just appropriate for where you are at the time. A really good example of this is if somebody died that you know and were very close to you, say your family member just passed away, the appropriate emotion to feel would be grief. It would be sadness. There's nothing wrong with feeling grief or sadness. However, that emotion, should you not accept it, is going to weigh you down. It's going to diminish you. I'm not saying that you have to be productive in the sense, right? I'm not saying that. But you have to feel it. You have to really feel it. And you have to accept it. So this act of alchemy sometimes is also called transmutation. Now we can do this with all our energies. We can do this with all of our emotions. Sexual energy transmutation is a thing that a lot of people talk about. They have most of the people out there, NoFap community, semen retention community. Most of the guys out there do not know what the hell they are talking about when it comes to actual alchemy. Okay? Many people will be like, oh, you know what you need to do in order to alchemize an emotion? You need to take that energy and then you need to just put it into something immediately. You feel that arousal, you need to go and just immediately do push-ups. You feel the arousal, you need to go draw or be creative. That is just another form of repressing that emotion. You're not actually transmuting it. You're not taking that emotion, accepting it, feeling it, and then putting it into something. What you're doing is immediately you're just going, I'm going to bottle this up, and I'm not going to feel it at all. And this is an issue for anyone who really wants to learn the subtle art of transmutation, because it is beautiful. It's a beautiful, beautiful art. And I'm discovering more and more about it every single day, guys. I'm not saying by any means I'm an expert. I have developed some degree of mastery, however. So hopefully some of these tips really help you out. So what we want to do is the first step, okay, is you really want to develop some form of meditative practice, whatever that may be, okay? Especially one that gets into scanning the body. Meditations are really, really good. You want to get used to feeling where emotions sit in the body, Okay, you want to develop that body awareness. Also, exercise and getting more fit is great for this because it helps develop more body awareness. So, you know, when you get a feeling of, just say, anxiety, it hits you in the stomach, right? You feel that anxiety. However, that feeling can sometimes overwhelm us. It can take us over. And by that stage, we've already become a slave to the emotion. What we're trying to do is we're trying to subvert this. We're trying to prevent this from happening. We want to learn how to feel those emotions at their very base. Instead of catching the emotion when it's already taken us over at 75%, 80%, we want to get used to feeling what those signals feel like at 5%, maybe even earlier, 2%, 1.5%. You want to get used to feeling emotions as they are forming rather than once they've already taken over the ship, okay? Because then they're the captain, right? So we want to get used to feeling our emotions. Like right now, I'm just getting used to feeling tired. And as I'm getting used to feeling tired, I now have more control over the ship because I realize and accept that I am tired. And so I'm acting from that place instead of trying to fight it. And strangely enough, then you actually start to gain a certain amount of energy and a certain amount of control. You know, whereas before, when you were fighting it and you're not accepting it, then it's in charge because you're in opposition. You're in opposition to it. So the subtlety here is not the emotion being bad, okay, or led or whatever. It's your perception, in my opinion, that is the lead. The perception of that emotion is the lead that's weighing you down. And if you can take that perception, you can adjust it, then it becomes the gold, okay, the value, okay, because you're extracting that lesson from whatever state you're in at the time, okay. And same goes, like for the more complicated version of sexual transmutation. You're going to now feel into that, right? And that's a very complex emotion, guys. That's what we're dealing with. Most men, it's an overwhelming, very complex emotion and can hit you like a freaking storm, right? But what you want to do there, guys, is you don't want to immediately go and just stuff it down and go do whatever. You want to sit there and you want to feel it. You feel all of that buzz of energy in your sacral chakra right there, and sometimes the tightness that can be forming, the discomfort, and you would try to breathe and you want to try and relax into that feeling as much as possible. But here's the kicker, guys. A lot of people in the transmutation community will say, you need to feel it. You need to feel it so that you can dissolve it. And once you feel it, it'll dissolve and you'll extract the gold from that situation. Except what you're doing there is you're still not completely in acceptance of that feeling. Because if you go into that feeling with the express purpose, well, if you start to feel with the express purpose that you are going to dissolve that feeling, then you're still in opposition to that feeling. Do you understand where I'm coming from? Okay, it's a subtle difference, guys, but so important to this entire process working out. Okay, you want to feel that emotion 100%, but you have to completely accept that emotion. And you, in order to accept that emotion, you cannot be expecting it to go anywhere. Okay, I'm not expecting this tiredness to go anywhere. I'm not. And somehow I feel more awake as I keep talking to you in this video. I feel more awake. I'm still tired. I'm not expecting that to go anywhere. Obviously, this is the time that I go to sleep. I'm not expecting the tiredness to go anywhere, and not expecting the tiredness to go anywhere, accepting the tiredness for what it is. Now I can work with the authentic version of where I am now, guys. Have you ever been around one of those people who clearly is like in a certain mood or something like that, and they try and put on a face? You know, they're really sad, but they're going, yeah, everything's fine. I'm so good. It's so amazing. Oh God. It comes off as inauthentic. You can feel the energy radiating off of them, and it's just not the correct type of energy. Correct? Because they're not in alignment. They're not in alignment with who they are at that particular time. So it's the same. It goes for the same thing. Someone trying to act. If I was trying to act more energetic than I am currently, then I wouldn't come across in any way, shape, or form as authentic. And you would feel that, guys. You know, I'd be like, ooh, I'd be acting all wired, and I'd be acting like I am right now, and woo, you know, what's up, guys? How you doing? I'm not in the mood to do that. I'm not in the mood to do that. So I'm going to act from where I am, and somehow I feel that that is how we're supposed to conduct ourselves when it comes to the act of transmutation. We're not supposed to be fighting the way we're feeling. We're supposed to be in complete acceptance of the way you're feeling. And the funny thing then, guys, is you gain all the energy. Okay, and you can carry through and do what you need to do. You want to do this in pretty much every aspect, right? There's more exercises that I can sign to you guys, but this is the basics. I believe at some point I'll probably be able to elicit states at will just by knowing how to go into my body and create those states. Because you can also state switch. In a certain way, that's kind of what I'm doing now. But I haven't gained the degree of control over my nervous system that I can reliably induce it at will. You know, whereas this, it's taking a bit of time to load up, guys. Taking a bit of time to get to the point where I can become, like, where I'm feeling the energy. Like, I'm much more awake now and much more energetic than I was at the beginning of this video. That's how I feel personally. So what you're witnessing right now is an alchemical process taking place. And it's a wonderful thing for me to witness, because I'm also getting to grips and understanding what my own process looks like. You know, and everybody has their own way of doing this. I am mostly only telling you mine, okay? But I believe the subtleties that I've picked up on are definitely going to help you guys in your journey of working through this. There's some people that, you know, like, I think there's also different ways of alchemizing a certain energy, you know. There, for example, what could be a good example of this? Certain people, they just know that, for example, when they feel a certain emotion, this is a time to draw. When they feel a certain emotion, this is a time to get that out. So the outlet, the proper channel for the energy that you're currently feeling, it may be something different. It may not be to make a video, for instance. Well, it's like, you know, for me, it's like, I want to make a video. I'm going to channel this energy, whatever energy this is, into making the video. For other people, it might be, I'm going to go channel it into another thing. And for me, I am trying to create that sort of polymath lifestyle. I want to do many things. I love making videos. I love studying spirituality. I play guitar. I sing. I'm learning how to rap. You know, I'm a fitness guy. I love calisthenics. You know, so I have many aspects or many things that I put my energy into. Some of those I've learned how to identify. I've learned how to become the person who does those things. I've learned how to alchemize all the emotions surrounding that thing. And then others I haven't. Like, for example, with guitar, I'm very inconsistent with guitar. There's a certain degree of anxiety that's generated in me when I play the guitar. And I haven't figured out all the alchemical processes attached to alchemizing those emotions that come up when I play guitar. And that's what makes me inconsistent. But I do know that I'm getting better at alchemizing those emotions. And eventually, guess what? Playing guitar, I will be able to do it in whatever state I'm in. So my camera app crashed, I think. And luckily it was right at the end of the video. So I just wanted to conclude a little bit here, guys. And just wanted to say, like, for example, this, again, a test. This person, somebody else, an earlier version of me is what I meant to say, would have absolutely lost it at that happening. But since I've learned how to relate to my emotions a little bit better, just take it in my stride. It's like really. Obviously, I'm going to be a bit annoyed. However, it's not a big deal to me anymore. It used to be, would have been a big deal to me in a previous life. But in conclusion, I just wanted to also say that there's some things that maybe you guys are not supposed to alchemize. I think there's a lot of, because we got so much media out there and so many people telling us what to do and how to live life, I feel like maybe we can get hooked on other people's dreams. And maybe we're not supposed to do certain things. Maybe there's some things in your life right now that you're trying to make happen, but aren't a part of you. So you either need to change your perspective. As I said, you need to either alchemize those emotions and those anxieties surrounding those things that you want to do, like being consistent at playing the guitar in my case, or you just need to give up that thing entirely because maybe it's not for you. I had that thing with chess. I don't know, right now it's just like I felt like I needed to play chess, but then at the cost of what, guys? Like, the truth is, I'd much rather learn how to play guitar than play chess. So you need to also assign your energy. And maybe, who knows, maybe I'll learn how to play chess properly later on in my life. After I've mastered the guitar and I've got more time. So yeah, I hope some of those hints and tips were useful, guys. But alchemy is so essential, especially if you want to become a master of your own life, because you are learning how to deal with your own internal landscape. Many people, they all have their own way of doing things when it comes to alchemy, right? There's always going to be subtleties and nuances that apply to you and your perspective that don't apply to me and my perspective. I am just speaking to you about what goes on inside of me, and I'm trying to transfer some of that knowledge over to you. But remember that there's going to be subtleties and nuances that only apply to you. And I want to encourage you guys to look for that. Your techniques for alchemy won't be exactly like mine. But I do believe that my perspective is very enriching, especially in light of all the nonsense that I see online when it comes to this topic of transmutation. Please, guys, feel and accept your emotions. Don't immediately try to block them out by doing something else. Okay, that's not transmutation. That's self-repression.